This is a compilation of the best of from work last week. Enjoy. Huh. Looks like they took the stop sign down. Guess I don't have to stop there anymore. That's great. I get a lot of requests for this video, so here it is. This is Dad's prized possession. It's a 1998 Peterbilt with an awesome backstory, which I'll tell you now. Back in the 90s, Dad and his mom, Grandma, used to pick out the colors of each semi together. And for a couple years, Dad always pleaded for a yellow semi. Grandma would always say no. On this order, though, Dad did not ask for Grandma's permission and ended up ordering his yellow semi. Now, unfortunately, Grandma passed away before the semi ever arrived, but she did, before her passing, find out that a yellow semi was on its way. She wrote a letter to Dad and signed it with those words that are written on the back of the truck, and that is her exact handwriting that you see, scanned and blown up. As I said, the truck is a 1998 and was used commercially for 5 years. When it was time to trade it off after 5 years, Dad kept it. She has around 500,000 miles and only comes out of hibernation about once a year anymore. The truck was restored right on the farm by a longtime co-worker of Dad's named Grover. Originally, the work started as cleaning up a few scratches in the fenders. Then, Grover asked to paint the rear half of the frame while the fenders were off. One thing led to another, and next thing you know, the sleeper and the cab were taken off. The truck was worked on by Grover on and off for 3.5 years. He did a great job. I'm about to pull my hair out. You hear that? Freaking birds. Goddamn thing. Anyone else get birds in their shop? Out here at the park, you won't believe who I ran into. Fid Fleck, he's here with his kids. This guy doesn't have kids. I think he's just stalking the prey here. Not a good look.
Looking at the future talent here.
This guy. Awful. Yeah, this is what we do Monday evening after work. We're an hour post clock out, and we're all just at the park hanging out. Dalton brought his kids. I brought my kids. Kip is, I don't know. I think he lives here. He just wears sunglasses, sits in his truck, and looks at the kids playing every day. Plays in the splash pad. That's crazy work. We got the old football balmy. Too slow. Found this 4 drawers down in my garage, buried underneath a bunch of crap. But I got it. And still got it. Oh! No hands. Kip, 3rd string quarterback, 7th grade football. The JV 7th grade team.
What?
Having a blast. Copy that. Over. Kip just had to go back to his truck. He had a bit of an accident here. What a shame.
I told you not to put that in.
Free pair of socks if you want them, Kip. Right here. You interested? We're playing a new game called Smear the Kip. He's losing. It is shed rearrangement day, if you could not tell. Let's get some things moved, some things in, some things out, some things in. I'm not good at a lot of things, but one thing I am good at is forgetting to put the return address on here before I fill the envelope and seal it. Because every single time I start writing on this and then I'm like working around the documents that are inside and I can't write on it because it's not flat and smooth because I already filled it up even though I told myself I wouldn't because I do it every. Welcome to Indiana. You get 2 options for March weather. One is snow and 30 degrees. The other is 75 degrees and tornadoes. Take your pick. Need some advice from you guys here. A tale as old as time right here. Can't get this old boy broke loose. Flat tire, need to take it off, repair it. Can't get it broke loose. We tried the sledgehammer, got absolutely nothing. So what's the trick? Everyone's experienced this, right? I hope we're not the only ones. And actually it hadn't happened in a while because religiously we've been using this stuff, which is quite frankly made by the devil, used by the angels. But we can't get this one broke loose. Loaded trailer too makes it that much worse. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. So tell me, what's the trick, guys? We've all been here. She's stuck on. Wish us luck, because we're not having any fun. Didn't give her an option. And I think that might be the cause of our issues. You are not supposed to be there. She's out. I don't even need a patch. They call this a super single, I think. One of the things I hate about having a planter that plants both your crops is that you don't know what crop is going to go through it first. Put simply, there's a lot of things I'd like to do right inside there that I could do if I knew what crop it was going to start with, but I don't know. Need some advice here, guys. This is a question for all my friends that use augers. New auger we just got, 10 inch, 73 foot, swing away here. And my question is, what's it take to run it? It's got 2 electrical plug-ins and 1 hydraulic. We've got an old 955 utility tractor. I think it's rated at 35 horsepower, something close to it, but has no hydraulic plug-in port. Taking a step up, we've got a 3720 utility tractor. I think it's rated like 45 horsepower, and it does have the hydraulic port, but we've been told that's going to be too small to run that auger. We've got an old John Deere 4000 that I believe is rated 100 horsepower, and it's got the hydraulic plug-in, but it's not as convenient to use by any means. And then we've got the 6140 that's 140 horsepower that would work just fine. It's just not convenient and it can't be trailered. We've got a neighbor selling a Class 5 John Deere that's 65 horsepower that would probably do the job nicely, but do we need to spend the money on that? Let me know what you guys think. Isn't there something beautiful about a tractor that's in its retirement stage? I don't remember how old this 4000 is, but I want to say like late 60s. It's seen its days. I don't know how many hours are on it, but anymore, all it gets used for is to run a PTO. But back in the day, man, this thing would have had a lot of responsibilities. But since then, it has retired and it just works mildly. You see, when we ask that tractor to show up for work, we're not asking it to be the most efficient or the biggest or the strongest. We're not asking it to be the most sophisticated or the simplest. We just need it to show up, to work, and to show up, to be here. And that's kind of a beautiful thing. I know a lot of you guys have tractors like this that not just run augers, but would also run manure pumps. I see a lot of you guys, I asked this question before, who has the tractor with the most hours? And it's always a tractor that sits on a manure pump, it seems. But this thing, like I said, I don't know how many hours. Let me just see if I can get that answer. Looks like 8,300. And that's my brother's tractor. He bought that thing probably 5 years ago. And we haven't put that many hours on it, probably 300. It was probably at 8,000 hours when he bought the damn thing. And the fella that he bought it from, I know had not used it in 20 years. But I guess what I'm getting at here is 8,000 hours that it had on it when it really served its like working days. And now it just gets to be retired and gets the easy jobs, doesn't come into work, but once a week, if that, it's kind of a beautiful thing. It just gets to relax now. It's served its time. I don't know. Kind of beautiful. John Deere 4000. Not as cool as the 4020, right? Copy that. Over. It's time for me to start asking the hard-hitting questions. What's the difference between an engine and a motor, if there is one? Someone told me once upon a time that a motor is powered electrically and an engine is powered by fuel. So I guess I'll start with asking, is that true? A tractor, a pickup, a vehicle would have an engine because it is powered by fuel. Meanwhile, a sweep auger or a floor auger would have a motor because it's powered electrically. Am I saying this right? I've sort of used those two words interchangeably, but I don't know if that's fair or accurate to do so. But that's how I've done it. So now I'm coming to you guys asking, what is the right answer? What is the difference between the two? How do you differentiate them? Or are they just the same damn thing? Are they interchangeable? I don't know the answer. Someone on here smarter than me will know. I feel like I've seen the words interchangeable because I think I've heard people say like PACCAR motors or CAT motors. But maybe not. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe it's always engine when I think of something underneath the hood. I don't completely know. Anyhow, it's 24 degrees out. Second half of March. Snow on the ground. I could live with this if it's January, but second half March, come on, Mother Nature. Let's get the ball rolling here. Let's get to spring. Let me know the answer to my questions, guys. Copy that. Over. Rest in peace, Grandpa. I love you. When I die, bury me in work clothes. Because I guarantee when I get to heaven, Grandpa's putting me to work. He's been gone 10 years now, and by his logic, I think that means I owe him 10 years worth of 60-hour work weeks. Even in heaven, I won't be allowed to clock out. Rest in peace, Grandpa. Love you. He's been gone 10 years, but he lost his eyesight when I was 4 years old, so I never did get to work with him. And believe it or not, that'd be fine with me. I'll put my work boots on in heaven, and I'll work with him. I'd enjoy it. Love you, Gramps. I see him often in the form of a cardinal, sometimes even inside the barn as we're getting ready to go out planting. He was a good man. He would be the second generation out here on this farm. My brother and I being the fourth generation now. Lost his eyesight when I was 4, like I said, but he still continued to come to sporting events, support us whenever necessary. Couldn't see us. He could hear us. He would feel us. He would touch us. He would help to understand what's going on in our lives and was great about asking questions. I enjoy my time with him very much and look forward to seeing him again someday. Hey, is there validity to this comment right here? Am I the only person on the planet that's not using a dual monitor system in 2026? I see a lot of people that have 2 monitors, and quite frankly, I think it's badass. I'd love to, but I'm not sure I have enough desk space here for another monitor. So you guys tell me, is it just absolutely life-changing when you get a second monitor or a dual monitor? Because I might just do it. Let me know. Copy that. Over. Good news, bad news. Good news, I'm not inside the bin. Bad news is I'm about to be. Sleep auger's going in, motor for it. We're gonna get this damn thing swept out. Copy that. Over. 75 degrees out today. The grass is getting very green. I'm getting antsy, fellas. We're going to be in the fields before long. Hopefully not too soon. I'm not ready yet. 10 days ago, I asked the question when we pulled this in, how long is it going to be in the shop? And I placed the line at 7 days. It's now been 10, so I hope you bet the over. But I hope you bet under 10 and a half because she's getting pulled out. We're done. Finally. If anyone was wondering, that bolt, this bolt, is left-handed. And if you're also wondering, a 1-inch Milwaukee impact will indeed break a grade 8 bolt. Now to clear the air, I had a feeling it was left-handed, just knowing what that, how that operates. I had a feeling it was left-handed, but we worked on one on the other side that was right-handed. The problem was it must have been on the other side of the row unit, but I was certain. So I take the bar, I try to break it, nothing. I get the breaker bar, nothing. Air impact, nothing. Big dog, yeah. That broke it. Quite literally, that broke it. The other reason I thought it was right-handed is because several places inside this book indicate when they are left-handed. And this one spot did not indicate that it was left-handed. But I fixed that problem. Hopefully it never happens again now. And what a mess here just for that one freaking bolt. I mean, in hindsight, I gotta be smarter than this. Should a 15/16 socket ever be on a 1-inch impact? The answer is no. Noted. Noted. Surely I won't ever do that again, right? Will I? Anyhow, the rebuild and the service are both almost done. We're down to probably about an hour's worth of work left. Wish us luck. Can't wait to have it out of here. This really was the camel that broke the straw's back. Copy that. Over. Make it make sense. Something tells me I have a problem here. I can get these wheels to turn, even though they're off the ground. Can you see this? They're off the ground. Wheels can turn. And meanwhile, I don't have the air lines connected from the truck. So there's no air supplied to the trailer. Air lines are disconnected, you see here. But the wheels spin. With no air being supplied, they're off the ground, they're suspended. So how does that work? I feel like that shouldn't be the case. They shouldn't be able to spin like that. I think I have a problem here. Any mechanics or pro truckers out there able to help me, assist me with this? Why would that be the case? I just can't get it through my head. Who knows? It's a Friday. I think I'm just going to ship her out and call it good. Over and out, copy 10-4. One of my all-time favorite videos here. So that was yesterday when my brother was changing the oil on a semi. Forgot to put the drain plug in back in the bottom. Went ahead and started filling with oil. And sure enough, yes, you got a problem there. He didn't know it until he looked down at the catch pan, the drain pan, and went to remove it. When he went to remove it, he saw oil coming out. And he was like, I think I've made a mistake here. He felt a little defeated. So that was good. He dumped 3 quarts of oil on the ground there or in the drain pan, wasted it. The worst part is right before that, our oil hoses are pneumatically ran. He went back, plugged in the air system, and didn't know that the nozzle was turned on here, so he was dumping oil here. So he dumps a few quarts here, comes over to the semi, starts filling it without the drain plug in, dumps a few quarts there also. Fortunately, had the drain pan underneath it. I'm proud to say I've never done that before, but I've certainly been surprised that I haven't, I guess I could say. That's definitely something I would do. How's everyone play their cars? Do you guys get hot loaded or do you take chemical on hand and mix it yourselves? We obviously do it ourselves and just got the chemical in today. I use a Rolodex exactly 1 time per year. I find it ironic that on these John Deere planters, the operators have to get a tape measure out to check the spacing here. But if it was a Case IH guy who doesn't run these, they wouldn't need a tape measure. It'd just be muscle memory for them knowing that length. I'll be damned. She's finally ready to go out. It was only in here for 10 days. Autobots, let's roll out. But first, now let's roll out. Alas, we have made it. She's in the shed. I could have done a little better, but I could have done a little worse too. Not bad. She spent 10 days in there. Now she's gonna spend 10 days in here, then it'll be April 1st. And who knows, are we gonna be planting on April 1st? That's not up to me to decide, that's up to Mother Nature to decide. But before that, we still got a lot of service work to do in here. Well, not in here, but units that are in here still need serviced. 9R, 8R, sprayer, 6R. We still got a lot of work to do. But this one was certainly the one that was bugging me. It was the biggest project in terms of the hours required. And it seems like every time I throw this damn thing in the shop, it is in there for 10 days, about like it was this time. So consistent. And it wasn't 10 days worth of work that needed done to it, but there's just too much other shit going on right now. Hell, I could have had it done in 2 days probably, but we're sweeping out bins. We got flat tires that come in. We got other shit going on. I don't know. And the weather's too nice to be working in the shop half the time. So that's the reason being. Plus, NCAA March Madness basketball on. I just watched Kentucky hit a three-pointer, Santa Clara, to push it to overtime. I really need to stop this video so I can watch the rest of that game. But thank God, planner's finally out of the shop. Now I can go watch some more basketball. Copy that. Over. To make a long story short, this computer I think is taking a shit. So I got online to see what its lifespan is. It's expected to last 5 to 7 years. And it has a build date of 2009. More than 17 years old. In another 10 months, it'll be 18. It'll be allowed to vote. And with a lifespan of 5 to 7 years, I'd say I'm working with a ticking time bomb here. That sucks. Copy that. Over. You want to see the greatest ROI tool on our entire farm? I'll show you. This guy. Except it makes me fat. Copy that. Over. You guys aren't going to believe this. Take a look at this damn thing. Let me get the hell out of the way. Take a look at that damn thing. You know what it is? So it is not a rock like one may think. I'll circle back to that part of the story later. It's an American Indian artifact found in one of our fields. And it's very rare. So let me tell you what it is. It's an old axe head. I believe I'm saying this right. You guys can correct me. That the Native Americans used. They would get a piece of granite or a piece of rock, and then they would shave it into the proper shape, have some sort of stick that they would twine rope around to attach the two things, and then they would use this rock as an axe head. As you can kind of see here, they've got all the way at the damn top, they kind of rounded it. It's a little sharper up there. They cut off kind of a belly here, a waist here, so that they could attach it to the stick, and then they just start beating the hell out of trees with it or whatever the hell else that they did, but that was its purpose. So here's the story to it. Summer 2018, we're picking up rocks in our fields as we do all the time, and I didn't remember this part of the story, but my friend just confirmed it. He and I were out there. I find this that I believe to be a rock, threw it in the back of our ATV. He says, "What was that?" I said, "A rock. I mean, it's the 100th one we've picked up today." He said, "I don't think that's a rock." So he picks it up out of the ATV where I had already disposed of it and says, "This is not a rock. This shape is intentional." And after a quick Google search, we quickly realized what it was. Now, it's not uncommon. I should say it is uncommon, but not super rare for people to find arrowheads, small arrowheads, maybe an inch or two in size, out in the fields here in Northwest Indiana. But to see one of these, I'm not sure I know anyone that's ever found one. Like I said, we weren't looking for it. I know exactly where it was. I could take you back to it. We weren't looking for it, but we found it. And this thing, judging by the picture, it's been a lot of years, was probably 8, 9, 10 inches tall and very deep, probably an inch and a half in depth. What is that? Maybe 5 inches wide. It's big. No different than the rocks that we were picking up, but it's very big. But it is far from a rock. And it seems like it's become a popular thing now for people to go out and search for arrowheads. And I've seen a lot of them on social media lately. What I have not seen is one of these damn things. So I figured, you know what? Let's put it out here. I'll show it to the world. 2018, we found this. Didn't know what it was. Thought it was a damn rock. I didn't study it hard enough. Come to find out it's not. The rest of the story is we took this information to a neighbor who's more into maybe searching for the artifacts. And he said, that's extremely rare. That's very cool. And we said, well, what do we do with the damn thing? He said, you could sell it, probably worth $500. Or my recommendation is donate it to your county's museum. And so that's what we did. We donated it to our county's museum. I have not gone back and seen it. We found it this day on 2018. The next day we took it over there, and I have not seen the damn thing since. I'd like to go over there to the museum. It's only 6-7 miles. 6-7 miles over there and look at the damn thing, because it would be cool to see it kind of set up and maybe what they said about it. But interesting. Maybe some of you guys will find it interesting. Has anyone else found something like this? Have you found arrowheads, any sort of Native American artifacts, or are we maybe the lucky one here in the group? Let me know. Copy that. Over. Who the hell parked this truck right here? Think about that. You got the full length of that shed and you park beyond it? What the hell's wrong with you? This is sort of a niche complaint, but when we get seed in, I always look and see how much each unit weighs. I need to know that for the sake of the seed tender. And this guy, 209.70, weighs 55.3 pounds per unit. Now guess what? 209.70, this guy weighs 50.4 pounds per unit. This box has 50 units in it. This box has 40 units in it. It's a weight thing. And that drives me absolutely nuts when we get boxes of the same hybrid that are different weights. It's not a big deal necessarily, but it drives me nuts because it's harder to maybe game plan. Like I can't tell someone, and I try and do this ahead of time, how many pounds you need for X field, because these boxes will end up going to several different fields, I'm sure. I don't remember off the top of my head. But if that's the case, I don't know which box they're gonna grab. One's one weight, one's the other weight, and now it makes it different. And I almost texted our seed guy and to tell him, man, out of all these boxes, every single one has the same weight to the same hybrid. Fantastic. And then sure enough, he brings in our second load and we've got a mismatch already. Now this is kind of a niche statement. I'm not really trying to complain. I guess I'm just saying, does that drive anyone else nuts? And then what's the solution for it? I guess you just have to wait until it's time to use the box to see what it weighs. I don't know. I always map out ahead of time. I can tell you exactly how many pounds need to go to what field, but I can't do that because I don't know which of those two boxes back there of 209.70 are going to go to X field. Bummer. Now, if it was all one field, it'd be fine because I could just say throw the whole damn thing in, but you're talking about 90 units there. It's 100 and 200 acres. That's not going to be one field. Damn it. Copy. Does this make sense to anyone? Does anyone else feel this way? Does anyone even give a shit what they weigh? I don't know. Copy that. Over. Well, it's not a TikTok shop item, but it is a shopping item. The Starfire 3000 is going down the road. In place of it, a 7500. Does that warrant us BTO status by chance? Here's likely an unpopular opinion. Does anyone wish that their commute to work was actually longer? My drive into work every day, 7 minutes. Guess how long my drive home is? You guessed it. 7 minutes. And there's a lot of times I actually wish that drive was longer for several reasons. But one, on the way to work, it just gives you more time to kind of prepare your mind for what's ahead, plan out the day. On the way home, it gives you more time to kind of settle, unwind from what happened at work, kind of bring yourself into now I'm home mindset rather than I'm at work mindset. And it just gives you one-on-one time with yourself. Time to think. A lot of times I don't have the radio on, I'm just thinking. Gives you time to listen to the radio if you'd like to, podcasts, maybe make some phone calls, whatever it might be. But it's just nice to kind of have time. But 7 minutes isn't enough time. Most of the time I don't even plug my phone into the radio because I don't care to. There's not enough reward in it to go through the workout, grabbing the charger and plugging it in and set up your Apple CarPlay and then go into your podcasts or your Pandora or your Apple Music, whatever it might be. But if I had, say, a 30-minute drive, I would do that. I would listen to more podcasts. I would listen to more music. I would listen to whatever it might be, have more time to unwind or prepare, whatever the case. How long is your commute to work? Have you ever wished it was longer? Am I crazy for wanting a longer drive to and from work? Let me know the answer to those. Copy that. Over. I don't know why I have to be the one doing this job. If Kipton was out here, he could do this without a tape measure. As it relates to my last video, I would like to issue a public apology to lead astronaut. Hold on. I would like to issue a public apology to lead agronomist Kipton Garling for the words I used in my last video. Those words were hurtful and not true. I'm sorry to lead agronomist Kipton Garling, who is a very respectful and impressive coworker and a great person, and anyone that knows him would be lucky to know him. Thank you. Tractor's here, planter's here, seed is here, but there's one very important thing that we're missing before planting starts. Okay, now we can go planting. Phone charger's in there. That's the most important item needed for planting, and now it's time for all the old heads on here to come at me, come on my throat and say, dude, you gotta stay off your phone and blah, blah, blah. Whatever, don't care, save it. My 4020 doesn't even have a cab on it, let alone a phone charger accessory port. Don't care, that's fine. You take your 4020, I'll take my 8R370, and we'll just see who plants more acres in a day. Yeah, but my damn 4020 won't break down. It don't have all those friggin' computers on it. That's fine. You just take a guess at what population you're planting. I will tell you what population I'm planting. Yeah, well, my 4020 doesn't cost $1 million. Well, this one doesn't either, but I see your point and I have no argument. Did I cover all the basics there? Did I miss any? What else are the old heads gonna say? You damn kids and your smartphones and your face gadgets and your snapgrams, whatever. All right, I need to stop. I'm losing brain cells now. Planting 2026, it'll be here before you know it. Copy that. Over. I made a video about pro boxes, picking up gravel and then getting rocks inside the planter. You can view that video here. Buddy says, use bags, problem solved. I'll tell you what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna use bags. I'm sure as hell not doing that. But what we used to do, and I'm wondering if anyone else still does, is use the bulk bags, like the marshmallow bags that would have your 40 or 50 units in it. Soft bag, like not a pro box, holds what is in a pro box, but the huge marshmallow bags. I don't even know if you guys are gonna know what I'm talking about, but we used to have a flatbed trailer that would go on the back of a semi. You could put, I think, 6 of those bulk bags on it, and it had a crane on it, and you'd lift up the bag over the top of the planter and then drop the bottom of it out. Similar to a pro box, like holds the same quantity, but loads so much more differently. The pro boxes and our seed tender goes off of weight, so you can kind of shut it off and whatnot. Those marshmallow bags, like you were kind of committed to the whole damn thing. You open the bottom, and I don't even remember if you could close it if you wanted to. You were committed to the whole damn thing. But that's what we used to do before we got a pro box, and I'm not talking that long ago or before we got a seed tender. Probably 5 years ago we were doing that. Sold that trailer to a cat in Missouri. I'm trying to think of his name. Roosevelt, I think, was that kid's name. I don't know if you're on here. He either found me on TikTok or on Facebook, but he bought that trailer. Roosevelt, if you're viewing this, hit me up. I'd love to know what you think of the trailer now that it's been 5 years. But we used to do it that way. I'll have to look and see if I can get a picture of that setup. It was different. It was a lot slower. Time's money when you're out there having a seed tender and being able to put in X amount of units, whether that's 20 or whether that's 100. It's fantastic. Time's money. I don't want to be handling 40 or 50 pound bags. We don't do it that way. We are not going to do it that way. I'm not doing this, but I understand what you're saying. Don't have to worry about rocks if you're just handling individual bags. Let me see if I can find a picture of that. Copy. Over. Got my pictures. This was from spring of 2021 when we sold it. It looks like you could hold 10 bags, and that's just in front of the crane. You could probably hold some more behind. It was a 1985 Transcraft. Went to Leichter Farms in Missouri. Don't know if he would be on here, but this is what the setup looked like. We sure as hell don't use it anymore. Then I forgot to ask the question. Does anyone still use those bulk bags, those marshmallow bags? Let me know. Over. Okay, so I'm running through this in my head now, and I'm remembering how we handled these bags. Because you were committed to dumping everything that was inside the bags, we would ahead of time fill the bags with specific amounts of seed. So we'd get all of our seed bags in individual bags. We'd have 1,000 of them inside the shop, and then we would have a bunch of empty marshmallow bags, empty bulk bags, and we would divide it out by how many units were needed for the specific field or the specific farm, and then we would dump them in, whether that was 20 units you were dumping in or you were dumping in 120 units into multiple bags. That's how we would do it, and then we would label the bags by field so that, yes, you were committed to dumping all of it, but you were only dumping one field at a time or maybe one hybrid at a time, different things like that. So I remember a lot of times Saturday mornings, it would take a freaking full day. We'd have a handful of kids, me being one of them. We would always be hungover, it seemed like, and we would spend a full day handling 40 or 50 pound bags, dumping them into the bulk bags so that when it finally got on the trailer, we got to the field, you had a specific field inside of that bag, if that makes sense. Because yes, you're committed to dumping the whole thing, but you don't always want it clear full. So sometimes it wasn't clear full. Sometimes you needed multiple bags. It was awful. A lot of prep work ahead of time for that. Versus now you just have the pro boxes and you can shut that gate and go by weight to see how many units you need instead of needing to do the math ahead of time. That makes sense. It was a lot different. It's a lot easier the way we do it now. Anyone else still use those big marshmallow bags? Let me know. Copy that. Over. Liquidation sale. All must go. Smack the gavel. Time's up. If you thought I was doing anything at work the next 2 days, you are dead ass wrong. It's officially the 2 best days of the whole year. Thursday, Friday, March Madness. First round, absolutely fantastic. 32 games. Boilers will win. And I say time's up because if you thought I was doing anything at work the next 2 days, you're lying to yourself. If this planter wants to get rebuilt, It better get done today. If this tractor wants serviced, it better get done today. I'm not doing jack shit tomorrow or Friday at Burke. That is my promise to you guys. I'm so amped up. You guys should be too. March Madness, best time of the year. Who we rooting for? If you say anyone but the Boilers, you're wrong. Copy that. Over. By the way, I'm out of breath from those basketball reps. And to make matters worse, I'm already behind the 8 ball because I've already lost my voice ahead of 2 days, if not 4 days, of screaming at my TV. Not good. No one asked for my opinion, but I'll give it to you anyway. These style sweatshirts right here, like the quarter zip sweatshirts, are kind of annoying. I much prefer the standard sweatshirt that just kind of comes all the way up here, and I'll tell you why. For starters, this zipper bugs me. Like, I don't know, I'm just kind of getting into it all the time. Sometimes the zipper will kind of scratch you, bugs me. And then secondly, the regular sweatshirt covers you. Like, that's kind of the point of the sweatshirt. I'm wearing a heavy layer because it's cold out. I want to be warm. And I'm sure as hell not going to zip this thing up to serve the same purpose. So I don't know. Now, does this look a little better? Yeah, there's a little more contrast, whatever. But these things, I just don't think they're as practical. Now, they sell a lot of them. I've got a lot of them. But I don't think I've actually ever bought one. I've been gifted them. It seems like these are always gifted. The regular sweatshirts are never gifted, but that's what I buy because it seems like they're more practical. Now, you guys tell me, am I crazy for this take? Is this a hot take? Or does everyone agree with me? Then again, can't be everyone that agrees with me because otherwise they wouldn't be selling these things. Let me know your thoughts on it. Copy that. Over.